Hi traders, this is Blake Morrow. You were listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back, and we're going to get started with the morning analysis, and we're going to cruise through this. So I just want to make sure that you all are aware we're about ready to really get to it. So let's go over to the euro dollar, and again, I want to point out that the ECB meeting is tomorrow. Okay, it is not today. It is tomorrow. We have this, like, in my opinion, an inverted head and shoulder pattern that's trying to develop. That means that we have to hold this support down here. So let's figure out exactly where that is. You obviously know where resistance is right now. It is the 110.60, maybe even the 110.70 level. But support should be 109.40. Spike low right over here is 109.39. So yeah, I'm going to say 109.40 is going to be support, 1.0940, and then resistance is 110.60. And we are in a range environment, and you can say 110. Yeah, I would say 110.60 or even 110, 110.70. But the bottom line is we're not going to break this today. I mean, it would have to be something amazing would have to happen. Like, when I say amazing, I mean we'd have to see like a major breakout in gold, or we'd have to see the stock market come under some really big pressure that sparks a big rally in the euro or something like that. But I just doubt that that's really I doubt that's a realistic expectation for today. All right, let's go over to the cable. Again, I'm cruising through this analysis just because we've got a special guest coming in today. So here's the cable. Downtrend line was rejected yesterday. Okay, big downtrend line. And if you look at let's go to a 4-hour. You can see this downtrend line was rejected, close to. We have the red, resistance there. Support right here. We had a strong manufacturing production number overnight. And by the way, this move higher in the cable and the move lower in the euro pushed the euro pound right to 77 pence. I know some of you are probably asking me, or thinking about asking me today, about the euro pound. Would I be a buyer down here at the 77 pence level? You guys know the risk, guys. If you're going to buy the euro pound today, your stops are really close to here, right? I don't think this is a bad place to be long the euro pound. I should be buying the euro pound right now, but we have the ECB meeting tomorrow. I'm already long the euro as it is, but look, if you're going to get long the euro pound, you want to do it right here. Put in maybe a 30 pip stop, and then look for a move back above 78 pence. All right, that's all I'm going to say about the euro pound. But the reason why we've slipped down there is because we had this strong manufacturing data, and then obviously the weak euro. This is the range, but how important is 142.80 today? 142.85. Let's see, high 83. 1.4285 asterisk. That is extremely important. Okay, if we can break above that, we will get a near-term bullish move, and I'm going to take us out of probably the range. Well, we'll still be in the range. We might get near-term bullish. I might actually put near-term bullish in the cable if we break through this resistance. Okay, I doubt we're going to do it today, but you never know. It's the cable. Cable can do anything. All right, important support here. Why we wrote it down yesterday? Because hold on one second. The reason why we wrote down that support yesterday is because if we broke it, we would have a lower low, and if we had a lower low, then that means we're starting to forge some sort of topping pattern here with lower highs, lower lows. So it would be a problem. Excuse me. Oh, if I just made you yawn, I'm so sorry. 141.30 is support. 1.4130. Okay, that is support. Let's go over to the Swissy. All right, here's the dollar Swiss. So the dollar Swiss spiked right to 1.0030. I mean, wow, that's the 618. Look how important that is, huh? 1.0030. Really important resistance. Support obviously is 99 cents. You know, we could write down 98.80. We are still in a range. If you guys want to short the dollar Swiss, this would be the time to do it. Again, I don't trade the Swiss to the long side, meaning I don't short the dollar Swiss. I don't short any Swiss pairs, meaning I don't buy a Swiss franc. But if you're going to do it, this is the time to do it. Just because I don't doesn't mean you shouldn't. Okay, it's kind of against my FX code of ethics. When a central bank has negative deposit rates at 75 basis points, I don't want to buy their currency. It's the unwritten FX code of ethics. All right, I don't want to short the dollar Swiss. I don't want to buy Swiss francs, and it may drop and it may fall, 500 pips. So be it. I'll be a buyer after it drops that far. Okay, I'm not trading it to the short side because obviously the central bank is aggressive enough to keep deposit rates at a negative 3/4 basis points. They're going to do whatever it takes to keep their currency from strengthening too much. So I'd rather just be on the long side of this currency when it drops, okay, versus being on the short side. The FX Code of Ethics. You guys need to read that handbook if you guys haven't. I'm joking. There's no FX Code of Ethics handbook. I'm joking. All right, here's the dollar. Here's the dollar yen. Dollar yen. Hey, surprisingly, it has a little bit of a hammer here. But like I said, I don't really care. The S&P is weak, or is starting to weaken here. And if it starts to weaken, the dollar yen is just going to pull back. All right, now what is important today is this resistance. If we get a rally, but just because you guys know I just shorted some dollar yen. If we get a rally to 113.20, I am adding to the short side, just so you know. 113, oops, 113.25. Okay, it's resistance. We're in a bearish trend. Support. This is going to be really important. 112. The lows here is 112.15, so 112.15 is support for today. I think we could very easily break through that, especially if the S&P rolls over. Look at the S&P is starting to roll over right now. Matter of fact. Let's go over to the dollar Canadian. Dollar Canadian. If you don't know why I'm long, okay. $78% retracement is a weekly chart. 161% extension. Massive multi-year trend line, or at least year-long trend line. All came in at 132.30 to 132.50. I am long. The Bank of Canada does meet today. I think the Bank of Canada can be a little bit more hawkish than they have been in recent meetings. Why? Well, because crude oil has recovered quite a bit, and I think that in itself is probably going to give the Bank of Canada a little bit of breathing room. But right now, this support is going to be very critical. Okay, you can see we have a 38% retracement, previous resistance, current support. We can give it down to 133.70. That'll take the upside pressure off the Canadian if we break through that today. Obviously, the resistance is at 134.50. That was hit overnight or close to. Okay. We're in a range. Let's go over to the Kiwi. The RBNZ does meet today. All right. $0.68. Hold on. $38 retracement. Okay. That is support today. If this breaks today following the RBNZ, you know at that point in time the Kiwi is going to get smashed across the board. All right. So the overnight lows are extremely important. 67.15. Extremely important for the Kiwi. Resistance 68 cents and 68.20. Now remember, the market is expecting a little bit more dovish RBNZ. So if we don't get a very dovish RBNZ, flip side is we can break higher. Okay. If the RBNZ just isn't that dovish, and it doesn't seem like they're going to cut rates at the next meeting. This Kiwi dollar could really break higher and start to challenge 69 cents. It is entirely possible today. Okay. All right. Let's go over to the Aussie. So look at how bullish the Aussie is, especially if it breaks 75 cents. Okay. Now, why is 75 cents a big deal? That's a 50% retracement. Okay. You can see how this resistance here at 74.30 was big. We have 75 cents right here. And what we'll probably have to do now, let's get rid of this. We don't need that. 127% extension was at 141.61. Let's do this. That comes in at 75.30. So I'm going to write down that as being, because look, that's previous support. How big is that? It's huge. Okay. And it looks like we're, making our way up there. So yeah, we have 75 cents and 75.30. So 75.30. That is going to be key resistance. And frankly, I think we're, bullish here in the Aussie right now. Okay. Now that we're above this, I don't know if I wrote bullish down yesterday. I think I should have. I did. I must have. Can't remember. But anyway, that is obviously very strong support. Look, we didn't make a lower low. We made what would be considered a consistent low. So that keeps the bull trend intact. The 74.10 is going to be a really important support for bulls. Okay, important for bulls. Dollar index. Okay, so here's the dollar index. Let's get rid of this for now. By the time we get down here, this will be this key support, which is at a 50% retracement. You can see that. So that's going to be 90. Let's just call it 97 cents. So any move down to 97 cents should be pretty well supported. Okay. Now that would also coincide with the euro dollar back at 110.50 or so, roughly. All right. So if we, just think about it, if the dollar, this is an hourly, does this, comes down here and does that, that's going to be about 110.50, 110.40 in the euro dollar, something like that. Okay. Resistance right now is 97.50. All right. Let's go over to the US dollar Mexican peso. This is great because I'm going to cruise through all this analysis as fast as we possibly could, and then I'm going to be able to answer some questions really quick before we bring in Bob Lehman. That's exciting. Okay, so here's the peso. What happened to peso here? All right, there it is. So the peso was staging a little bit of a rally overnight. Notice how we got stuck again as we closed in on that that 18 $18 level. Now, one of the reasons why we got stalled up there is because the stock market started to rally. But I have to point out, man, if we break out this 18, that is, let me be really clear here. If we break 18 in the US dollar Mexican peso, that suggests that the stock market is coming under serious pressure. Okay? All right? Okay. So 18. Key resistance, support, 1670, right? The low here, 1770, I'm sorry, I didn't mean 1670. 1770 is support. We're in a range. And I know you guys know this, I really want the US dollar Mexican peso to break higher because I want to short it up at 1850. That's like my dream. I dream about it. I dream that we'll get to 1850 just so I can short the peso. All right. Yeah, some of you guys dream about, candy canes and lollipops. I dream about the Mexican peso. Strange. All right, here is the US dollar Norwegian krona. Now, we're not, well, this is really key support, any which way you slice it. So I'm going to write it down just because if crude oil stages a rally from here, and let's say let's say crude oil starts making its way up to 40 bucks, we are going to break through here. That is 844. Okay. $8.4400. Very strong support if broken. Probably has more to do with crude breaking out. All right. Resistance, by the time we make it up here, it'll be, 870 or so, but I'm not really worried about resistance too much, but I'll write down 870. It's not great resistance. I want you to keep an eye on this support. That's the most important thing. We're in a range. Actually, we're still in a pretty strong uptrend, believe it or not. I say range just because we've been in a range for a long time, for the last few months, but longer term, we're in a strong uptrend. US dollar, Swedish krona, still range bound, but you can see we're also tightening here too. These Nordic currencies, I know I've said this a lot over the last couple of days, or maybe the last couple of weeks. The Nordic currencies are some of the funnest currencies to trade when they're moving. They just haven't been moving for the last few months. So, but when they do move, man, they are some really, really fun currencies to trade. All right, so there's your bias chart. Let me see if I can answer some questions. Johan, oh wait. wait, you know what?